Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. I really want to talk about this topic because I really deep down feel and I have this intuitive feel that so many women need to hear this message, right? And this video is to educate you. This video is to give you evidence. This video is to empower you to step into your high self, your best self, and to claim more for yourself, right? To come back to you, to develop that self-love and high standards for yourself that yes, you can attract, you are worthy, you are deserving of attracting, and to have a masculine, healthy, provider, ambitious man to claim you, to cherish you, and to love you, right? So I'm so excited to get into this video here. So many of you ladies are constantly blaming men and constantly saying over and over and again with your speech patterns, when you talk with your friends, there's such bad men out there, there's no good men anymore, they're all taken, right? They don't know how to plan a day. Where are all these good men? They're all taken, right? There are none left. Where are they? We just have the clearance rack. Oh my gosh, ladies, this self-talk is killing every single chance in your ability to call this type of man in, right? Your frequency, your vibration is down here where there's people and there's women playing at this level, right? Because of how they think, their beliefs, their stories, right? What they believe is possible for them, right? Their identity, right? And my job is to get you ladies from here to up here. So this is the video. This is the video that's going to change your life. So listen the fuck up. So the first thing I want to talk about is it takes a certain identity, a certain type of woman to attract a certain type of man, right? If you have never experienced a man who pursues you on the dating app or in person approaches you, right? Asks for your number, right? Or on the dating apps, messages you first, right? Offers you a high investment date, a luxury dinner proper date, right? And picks you up, right? And pays for the bill and a real healthy masculine provider man, that means your identity is a mismatch, right? He's operating at here, you are operating here, and these are the type of men that you keep attracting. So you're still in this level right here. My job is to bring you ladies up here, right? So we're gonna dive into what type of identity that you need to step into, that you need to embody every single day to attract that type of man. And I'm going to be the first person to tell you ladies that you need to take personal accountability, responsibility of your actions, of how you show up every single day, how you show up for yourself. Because if you are not attracting what you want, the type of man, the type of love, the type of love life that you want, it's because of you. It's because of you. I'm not going to sit here and we're not going to say, oh, men are bad, there's no good men out there, because that's not my reality. That's not the reality of my clients. That's not the reality of a lot of women who are operating at the 1%, attracting the 1% of men. So I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you, and I'm not going to sit here, have this negative talk about men, because the more negativity, the more you talk about men cheating on you, narcissists, right? All the crazy bad things, the more you focus on that is the more you attract those types of men. Right? And I have so much to say about the wizard Liz and her story. So much to say, but we ain't gonna go into this in this video. Maybe a different video, right? So the identity takes a certain identity, self-concept wise, what you believe about yourself and what you believe you are capable, you are worthy and deserving of attracting, and what you're able to attract and experience in your life, in your love life, the types of men that pursue you, how they pursue you, how they treat you. That is all about your self-concept, right? It's normal for a man to ask me out on a luxury date, for a dinner date. It's normal for a man to pay for the bill, to not even just pay one bill, all the dates, to be a full provider, right? This all encapsulates under the umbrella of self-concept, is how you perceive yourself and how you perceive how others treat you and operate and interact with you. This is your self-concept, right? And the next thing is feminine embodiment, how you communicate with men, right? How energetically men feel that polarity with you. There are so many women out there these days that are hyper masculine, right? Because of feminism. Feminism has done us good and bad, right? Now we're trying to compete with men, trying to be as strong as men, trying to say, we don't need your help, we've got it. You're so overly independent that now the polarity between masculine and feminine, the polarity between those two is off, because now you're both masculine. And what happens when you have 2 pluses or 2 minuses? You repel. You need 1 plus and 1 minus. And in order to have the man pursue you, the man to provide for you, spoil you, you gotta be in your feminine. And you ladies, forgotten. You don't even know how to be in your feminine. Even if you try, a lot of you ladies. And I've spoken to a lot of you ladies where you're like, I do not know how to relax. Like, some of you don't know how to relax. You don't know how to let a man lead. You don't know how to release control because you have been operating your masculine for your entire life. And I have been there. I've been there most of my life because I grew up in a certain way and how I was raised to protect myself. I was raised and taught that I could only rely on myself. I was not raised to believe that being a woman had worth. Right? Just existing, my feminine qualities, my creativity, right? The way I look at life, my intuition. I wasn't raised to believe that that had worth. I'm here to remind you ladies, there are qualities as a woman that men can never embody that holds insane value, right? Value that cannot be bought. Your nurturing qualities, your softness, your playfulness, even just your smile, your natural beauty, right? Your curves, right? Your body, the way you move, just your energetic frequency as a woman, your feminine essence holds so much value that we need to learn and we need to realize that is priceless. So when men ask you this really silly and dumb question, what are you bringing to the table? You say that you created the table, that you are the whole goddamn table. Then you block this guy. Because a man who asks this type of silly question is not a man who's going to be a good husband and a good provider that cherishes you, that understands the assignment of being a provider, a protector, right? A good husband. And that was raised in a certain way and has a mindset of perceiving a woman as God and has a high respect for women. We talked about self-concept. We talked about feminine embodiment. The last one is wealth energetics. You cannot attract a wealthy man if you inherently don't feel abundant yourself, right? If you operate with a broke mindset, everything is expensive, inflation, the economy, you are a victim to everything around you. You are a victim to money. You're a victim to the housing crisis. You're a victim to inflation, right? Guess what type of man that you attract in this type of energetic frequency? The same type of energetic frequency that you emit, that you are broadcasting. The broke kind. Men who are frugal. Men who would never spend a dime on you. Who will ask you out on a coffee date. Because he inherently also believes that, oh my God, everything is so expensive. Inflation, economy, right? You have to supersede all of that. And you have to become a hero of your life, right? And you have to look at everything as abundant. You're an abundant, wealthy woman. And with that, ladies, to truly embody the identity of a wealthy woman, to have that abundance mindset of men, of anything you want in life, that you are able to attract it, right? There's abundance all around you. You need to start taking actions, making decisions from that abundance mindset. So when a guy matches with you and offers you a coffee date, and you're like, I will go dinner with you, and he doesn't want to go dinner with you, right? And you have an abundance mindset, you're not going to accept that, right? He's going to fall away. And your job, ladies, if you want a job that makes 6 figures, you are not going to accept a job or you're going to take an interview at a job that says anything below than 6 figures, right? If they cannot come up to $100,000, right? You're not going to accept that. That is an example of having an abundance mindset, that there is someone out there that sees your worth, sees your intelligence, your knowledge, your experience, and they're going to match your value. Same thing with men. The fact that you exist, he has to exist too, because your 3D is always a mirror of you. And if we know that and we understand that, we know that for a fact, and it's universal law, well, we're just going to keep getting better, right? We're just going to keep getting wealthier ourselves, hotter, right? Healthier, fitter, right? Work on our self-development, our intelligence, work on growing our mind, our skills. When we level up, when we get better, we attract better than you can ever imagine. So I touch on self-concept. I touched on feminine embodiment. I touched on wealth energetics. Now I really want to talk about self-love. Ladies, self-love is the crux. It is the heart. It is the foundation for all of that. Without self-love, without feeling worthy and deserving, without feeling that self-belief in yourself, right? That I can have that. The fact that she has that, I can have it too, right? Not because you don't look a certain way, not because you're a certain race, not because you're a certain age, not because of anything. You get to be the exception to the rule. You get to be and attract anything that you desire. And when you have that self-love, you can do anything, right? You are unstoppable because everything that I'm teaching you, ladies, you can learn, right? You can practice, you can up-level, and you can up-level. Ladies, how do I know? I've been on the other side of the spectrum, attracting broke feminine men. That is why I'm doing what I'm doing now, because I'm on the other side and because I've experienced that myself, right? And now taking a luxury fine dining dates. Now I only have men pick me up, buy me flowers first date, even before the date, right? They buy me gifts, they send me money, right? The fact that I'm on the other side, I know everything can be taught, everything can be learned. It's a skill, right? It's a muscle that you grow. If you don't have the audacity, that self-love to claim what you actually desire, you ain't gonna get what you want. You ain't gonna get what you want. And I've worked with so many women, right? And a common theme is that they'll come to me with the same problem. I'm not seeing the type of man I want, right? I'm not making the money that I want. The same thing of repeating their undesired circumstances. You ladies don't get it if you keep repeating the same patterns again. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. Right? The more that you keep replaying, it's not there. The man is not there. I am not loved. I am not chosen. I am rejected. The money hasn't arrived. You are constantly replaying that same loop again, that you're not chosen. People don't want to buy from you if you have a business. There aren't good men out there. There are no wealthy men out there. Where are they? Some women can have it, but I can't have it too. Are you going to believe that? If you constantly come to me, to anyone, with the same thing again, I don't see no clients. I don't see no man. I'm not getting the dates that I want. Sometimes I switch to my American accent, my Southern accent. I used to live in America, by the way. I watched a lot of American shows. That's why I keep flipping back and forth. But it just comes out sometimes and I can't help it. You ladies have to realize that every single time you see an undesired circumstance in your 3D, it is just a reflection of a previous identity that you embodied, right? Your 3D is still catching up, right? So if we know this, if your 3D is catching up to who you are embodying today, because yes, it needs to move around the pieces. The universe needs to move around the pieces to reflect your new identity. We gotta lock it in. Lock in our new identity, right? Because if you are wavering, every time you waver and go back to, oh my God, no good men on the apps. The apps are shit, right? I keep getting rejected. The type of man is just not out there. Every time you come to me, you message me, every single time you tell your friends and you go round and round and round and have this train of all the negative stuff, you're dropping back here, right? I'm telling you, ladies, if you want to get up here, you got to remain at that level, right? And I'm not saying that we're imperfect humans, but we're going to get better at this. Every single time you have that limiting belief, that doubt, you're having a bad day. That is the universe testing you, right? Are we going to come back to this frequency, or are we going to stay up here? You have to hold the energy and lock it in up here. So I want to talk more about self-love, because self-love is literally going to be your holy grail when dealing with men. If you do not have a high level of self-love for yourself, you are going to have men approach you, different types of men have different circumstances, and you're going to abandon yourself, right? If you have low standards, how can you attract a man that is the 1% in the world, 1% type of man, the top tier type of man, right? How can you expect to attract him when you entertain low investment, low quality men? Your energy is now focused on this low investment, low quality man, when there are top 1% type of men out there, but because you're wasting your time on there and your energy on there, right, you're still vibrating on there every time you say yes to a coffee date, a walking date, right? A man that doesn't pick you up, a man that doesn't pay for a bill. You're saying to the universe, This is what I accept. This is what I only accept. Every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So every time you say yes and you entertain men down here, you're saying no to men up here. So what do you got to do? You got to say no to the men down here so the men up here can energetically be a match to you. So you can, when you raise your standards, you are finally playing in the same arena, in the same frequency. You become a match. Another thing I want to talk about is that if you do not enjoy your own company, if you cannot solo date yourself, go to a restaurant, go to a cafe, go to a hotel, go solo travel around the world, if you do not have the self-confidence, the courage to do that, ladies, you got to do the work on there. You got to do the work on your courage and your confidence to do that. Because why? Everything that you are afraid of, that you are depending on a partner or a man or even a friend to do anything with, that is you again being attached and needing outside validation, outside dependency of becoming your high self. So again, when you need to outsource confidence, courage, all of that, that is voids in you, it's going to be very hard for you to stay unattached to men. Why? Because you're outsourcing your power, you're outsourcing your confidence, you're outsourcing all these little bits about yourself that you have not cultivated because you have not taken the time to build the courage, to build the confidence, to do a lot of things by yourself. All the things on your travel bucket list, on your life bucket list. You are telling yourself, I need a man until I do this. I need to do it with a friend because I'm scared. Because I'm scared of what other people may say, may think, because I'm alone in public. So you are telling yourself, if you are single, you are by yourself, there's something wrong with you. And with this belief, it's going to be hard for you to detach, to leave, to dispose of men who do not show up the best for you, who aren't husband material, aren't provider material. Because he gives you validation, he gives you company, right? He's good for right now, but he's not the forever man. If you cannot solo date yourself, if you find it terrifying to travel the world, to pivot careers, to do what you love, what's on your travel list, your life list, your bucket list, you should not be dating. You should not be dating because you have no identity. You have not yet built that self-love, that confidence, that self-belief that you will be okay, more than okay, being in your own company, doing things alone. If you cannot be okay by yourself, that insecurity is not going to go away when you have a man. And I'm telling you, you're not going to attract the best of the best man if you lack self-confidence because you're going to be a doormat. It's going to be hard for you to communicate your needs, your standards to a man. It's going to be hard for you to ask for money, to ask for help, for him to do things for you, to ask for what you want out of him, for you to tell him what you want out of a relationship, out of a marriage. High-value men will go for women who are able to dispose of them and unattached unapologetically. Right, in an instant. They will go for women that will put them in their place. This to high value men, successful, ambitious provider men, this is the gold. This is the gold standard. A woman who knows her worth, that is able to reject them and say no to them, put them in their place, leave them if they are not the best version of themselves for them and the best option for them. This is wife material to them. And if you can't do that, you don't have that self-worth, that self-love in yourself to do that to any man, regardless how they look, how much money they earn, what they provide for you. You cannot just leave like that if they're not showing up as the best version of themselves. You're not going to attract the best of the best man because you're going to become too attached. You're going to outsource your love. Outsource all the voids that you have within yourself, all the holes that you have not filled by yourself. That's why it's so important to build a strong sense of self, to fill all those cups. Your social life, your career, how much money you earn. So many of you ladies still do not see the importance of earning the income and the lifestyle and the luxury that you desire for a man to provide for you. You need to create that in your own life by yourself first. You always want to have your own income, your own thing going on, right? Your passions, your business, because it's going to be very easy for you to leave a man, any man who doesn't treat you right, because you can still sustain your dream life. You can still afford the things that you like. You can still afford to eat out. You can still afford to pay for your rent, for your mortgage, to travel. Work on creating a full life. That is how you draw him in. When you upgrade yourself, you upgrade to the types of opportunities, the types of men, the types of wealth that are available for you. For example, it is so easy for me to never date a 9-to-5 man that is miserable at his job. Why? Because I have my own business. I've been an entrepreneur for 10 years. I built 3 6-figure online businesses. I've traveled the world by myself. I lived by myself multiple times around the world. I've had my own homes, my own apartments. I can afford to eat out the best restaurants, the luxury, the Michelin star restaurants by myself. And I treat my family, I treat my parents too, my friends. And in just 21 days, I 4x'd my income. I quadrupled my income in 21 days. Right? From April to May. The fact that I can quadruple my income within 21 days. Why the hell would I be dating a man that is at a 9-to-5 with a fixed income? Do you see what I mean, ladies? You upgrade yourself, you're operating at this level. And these are the types of men that you will start attracting. Ladies, you cannot be lazy. Every single pillar of your life needs to be congruent to this. This is how you raise your energetic frequency and you meet these men at this level. When you start frequenting at wealthy luxury environments like the restaurants, the clubs, the hotels, the travel, all of that because of your business, because of your career, because you've up-leveled yourself, it's going to be so much easier for you to meet these types of men. It should gross you out. It should give you the ick any man making an average income because you've up-leveled yourself so much. Your lifestyle is already up here. Why would you date a man that has not done the work? Why would you date a man who's not as ambitious as you? And ladies, I want to make this clear. The fact that you are ambitious, that you have your life force energy, your life force feminine creative energy on, does not mean that you are more masculine. It means that you are tapped into your divine feminine energy. When you are in your divine feminine energy, you are fucking powerful because your creative life force is turned on. Your ideas, your downloads, your nudges. Each one of us has both masculine and feminine, and we need our healthy masculine side to take action on our goals. And our feminine essence, our feminine energy is where all the creative downloads come through, the nudges, the ideas. Then we take action on them and we pair them together to create our dream life. You are hyper masculine when you are overly masculine. You do without listening to your intuition, without listening to your gut, without taking rest, without asking for help. This is when you're in a hyper masculine. And when you are on the apps, ladies, when you are talking to men, you never lead with your accolades or your successes, your certifications, how much money you earn. Never let a man know how much money you earn because that is not your value. It's a piece of you, a piece of your identity. Of course, you're passionate about what you do, right? You're passionate about your business, your goal, your career, right? But never have that as the leading factor of this is my identity, my whole identity. Lead with your hobbies, your interests, your femininity, your feminine essence. And this will create the most beautiful polarity of the masculine and the feminine, where he leads, he provides, he protects, he pursues, he spoils you, and you receive. He's obsessed with your life force energy, your magnetism, right? Your playfulness, your softness is what captivates him. You keep your own money. You put that into investments. You treat your family, your friends, right? He provides fully for you. He never touches your money, right? You have that for yourself. And he provides for you fully, for everything. Another thing I want to talk about, ladies, is that on the apps, you need to look the part as well. You need to look the part. What does that mean? Do you look expensive? Do you look like a high value woman? Do you look like you frequent at wealthy environments? Do you take pride in your appearance? Do you put effort into your hair and makeup? Do you look feminine? So many of you ladies are uploading photos of yourself where you look like a hobo, where you can tell that you don't care about fashion, where you can tell that you're a woman who doesn't like to wear dresses. You're a woman that doesn't like to dress up. You're a woman that does not go to all the luxury fine dining places. Do not post any photos of yourself on the dating apps if you are not looking your best. I don't care what you have to do, whether it's to hire a hotel room, an Airbnb, a nice place to go take photos at, to bring a friend, bring your mom, or just set up a tripod and take photos of yourself. On these apps, these men, all they have to go off is your photos and your bio. These two things. And these two things need to be 10 out of 10. They need to embody feminine energy. You need to look the part. If a man is wealthy and he dresses well, why would he pick a woman that does not take pride in her appearance, that does not dress up? Successful men care about public appearance. Successful men, they have more choice because they have the money, they have the resources, and they know women are looking for that. So they are also looking for the creme de la creme. So you better be the creme de la creme. So when you get your photos right, you get your bio right, they're both in check. They both embody feminine energy. You look expensive. You look like a lady. Your prompts and responses are both intelligent, but soft and playful and warm. How you communicate with these men in the chat, in the messages, is going to determine what type of date he takes you on. And not even that date, the one after and the one after, right? And if he brings flowers on the first date, and if he offers to pick you up and offers to send you a ride in Uber Black, you need to embody the I am the prize energy. That you are sitting on your throne, you are eating your grapes, and they are here to come with their offerings. They are here to pursue you, lead the conversation. A lot of you ladies are doing all the work. You cannot do that. A lot of you ladies are complaining, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't ask me questions, this and that. It does not matter. You do nothing. You have to get comfortable in the nothingness, in the doing nothingness. And you only get comfortable in the doing nothingness when you have developed the worthiness and the self-love. Because when you feel worthy, when you feel deserving, you're like, I don't even need to lift a finger. And they do everything. They pursue me. They constantly text me every single day. My phone is blowing off. I've got multiple dates lined up. That's why I say self-love is the crux. It is the foundation, is the heart to everything else. So I've broken down a lot of things in this video. I've mentioned a lot of things. If you are serious in attracting high value, successful, ambitious, healthy, masculine provider men, and you are done replaying the same convos about how horrible your dating life is with everyone that you come across, your friends, your family, and you actually want to change your life, please invest in yourself. I have Dream Girl Academy and I have the Modern Aphrodite. I was only able to change my life permanently and have everything I learned and embodied trickle into my business, into money, into everything else as well from what I have learned from dating and love and relationship coaches. That is why I know the things that I know today. That is why I attract the types of men that I attract today. Dream Girl Academy is going to help you master your self-concept, wealth energetics, and how to get pursued, wined, and dined. That is my viral program that has gotten my clients to attract multimillionaires, billionaires, and to be taken on luxury dates, flown out, all expenses paid, spa dates. You can have a look at all the testimonials down below with the link. And my Modern Aphrodite program is the next level up. It is a deep immersion to activate your siren energy, to be irresistible, to embody your divine feminine, to have men see you as wife material. The Dream Girl Academy is $2,222. Pay in full or 12 monthly payments of $222. And I highly recommend that you enroll inside of the Modern Aphrodite ASAP because it is at pre-sale. The investment is going to increase as we get closer to the launch date. So at pre-sale is at $666 or 3 monthly payments of $227. And if you are so ready, you are motivated to go all the way to do the inner and outer work, I highly recommend that you purchase both. Dream Girl Academy is such a good foundation with your self-love, self-worth, your boundaries, your standards in attracting wealthy provider men that will take you on luxury dates. And the Modern Aphrodite is going to turn the dial up even more. Best investment that you could ever make in your life is in yourself, your own personal self-development. When you know the knowledge, you know the tools, when you implement it, when you embody it, that is when you get better. That is when you upgrade. That is when you up level. And when you upgrade and up level, guess what? What you attract, the types of men that you attract, the types of dates they take you on, how they spoil you with money and gifts, how they treat you, how they cherish you, right? Is a whole level up. Not even just 10 levels up. Right? You're operating at the 1%. I'll see you ladies, the ladies who want to operate at the 1% inside Dream Girl Academy or the Modern Aphrodite. Take the leap, ladies. It is going to change your life just like it has changed mine. I love you ladies and I'll see you ladies in my next video.